This is my Spokane, the leader and the founder of the Young Men Empowerment Forum. I'm continuing with the topic that we started yesterday. This is part 2 of that these are the emotions that you go through that you need help with. The emotions that you go through that you need help as a young man. And I'm speaking about this part 2 today, and I'm dealing with anxiety in men, anxiety in you as a young man. And I want to speak about anxiety, and anxiety is that feeling that you have as a young man that makes you unsettled, that feeling that makes you feel that there's something that's going to happen. You may not even know what it is. There are times when you wake up in the morning, you feel like the day itself is very uncertain. The day itself feels like something bad is going to happen. You may not even sure of what is going to happen. And I must emphasize that when you have that, it is normal to feel that way as a man, because there are people that would think that a man cannot feel anxiety. But I'm emphasizing this so that you may know that it is normal to feel that way as a young man as well. And when you feel that way, so please, where you need help, please speak out. Make sure that people know, those that you can confide in, so that they can be able to step in and help you. And sometimes anxiety is sickness itself. You might be anxious because of some psychological issues. It could be some psychiatric issues as well, that you might actually need help while it's still early. I must emphasize that when you realize that your anxiety as a young man continues without a break, and it continues for a very long time, don't take it light, because it might be that it's something a bit more serious that needs help from outside, a professional that will help you. But I must emphasize that it is not weird. It's not unusual for a man to be anxious as well. Men get anxious as well. There are situations in life that challenges us like any other person in life. Could be financial problems, and some could be that you've lost a job. It could be because you've lost a parent or loved ones in your life. And therefore, after that, then you realize that you remain anxious all the time. And this is a situation that you cannot control as a result. And you find that you may try to actually deal with it, but anxiety keeps on creeping in to your life. And this is now the level where you really realize that you need help in that anxiety. You need help in that situation as well, where a professional can step in and help you. But what I'm emphasizing right now is that when you feel you're anxious, speak about it. When you feel you need help, be able to rise up and ask for help. Because if you don't ask for help, you'll not be able to conquer the situation that you have by your own. And sometimes anxiety creeps in while you don't even know what the reason for that anxiety is. And when it comes that way, where anxiety comes without the reason that you can actually point at, it becomes difficult to deal with. And that is the reason why I want to emphasize that this is the point where you need help. There are some anxieties that will come because of genuine reasons that you've gone through, as I've said, maybe retrenchment. You're anxious thereafter of whether you'll get another job. You're anxious thereafter of whether you'll be able to actually fend for yourself financially and support yourself and your family. And that's how you feel. And therefore you feel that way, that this is anxiety that you know exactly where it comes from. And if it's an anxiety that you're able to identify where it comes from, be able to face it. Be able to look at the root cause and deal with the root cause. And if it is an anxiety that you're going to face, say, for instance, as a young man, you're going to write exams, for instance. So please, if you want to deal with such anxiety, you must actually have proper preparations for this particular exams. It could be also an interview that is coming along the way, and you feel very anxious about it. I want to emphasize that with proper preparation, some of the anxieties you can deal with. But be able to identify what is the cause of your anxiety. Because men also get anxious, so please be aware of that. And therefore, you know that this anxiety is because of a certain cause of thing that I'm going through, or an expectation of succeeding in an interview, as I've said earlier, or writing exams, and you're anxious whether you'll pass or not. I'm emphasizing this, that proper preparation in this regard, you might be able to actually conquer that particular anxiety and be able to be well again and level-headed again, and you're not anxious anymore because you're prepared properly. Now, some of the anxieties is because of the fears that you have in life. You are fearing things that you're not sure what they are. Some are anxious about death because they are fearing death so much, and they're forever anxious thinking that it will happen to them. There are people that are so anxious about life to an extent that they don't know how to deal with life anymore. And as a young man, I want you to be aware that anxiety happens to us all in life. And as a young man, it is not a taboo for a man to feel anxious as he feels. But I must also emphasize that there are people that around us may not be aware that you are anxious until you share that with them. So therefore, share your anxieties and be open with people about your anxieties. Because remember that in life, there are people that have gone through situations in their lives. So therefore, they've got testimonies that are of experiences that they've passed through, experiences that they faced before in their lives. And they would have known how to conquer those experiences because they know how did they come out of those experiences. And you find that when they share their experiences and how they conquered those experiences, that may be the tonic that you need in your life. That might be the medicine that you need in your life to heal you of the anxiety that you have. Because if somebody has been in a situation, will tell you that I've been in this particular situation, but yet I found myself out of it because I came out because of this way and this way. So surely because of that, you'll be able to conquer the situations that you're faced with, knowing that there is somebody who has gone through the same path, but yet they conquered in that situation. So please don't die in your own corner. Don't be anxious and exceedingly anxious in your own corner without sharing with other people. As I say, other people's experiences may be able to help you. There are times when also it may not be experiences of the very same individual, but these particular people may be able to share the experiences of other people that are closer to them, that they've heard about, and therefore as they share to you about it, you may realize that there's a way out in this situation that I'm faced with, and my anxiety can be dealt with because I know I shall conquer and I'll be victorious because somebody else has been victorious about it already. But I must also say that some of the anxieties are actually caused by isolation, being alone, and not mingling yourself with other people, not socializing with other people as well. Because in the midst of many, in the midst of other people, you are going to learn a lot. In the midst of other people, you are going to learn coping mechanisms. In the midst of other people, sometimes there is safety and security. And therefore, I want to emphasize that sometimes you may need to actually get to socialize with other people, and that anxiety might go. But I must emphasize that you must be able to identify where anxiety comes from. And if it's an anxiety of no origin, that you cannot pick up what it is, you might actually need a professional, somebody who might actually deal with, whether a psychologist, as I said earlier, it could be a psychiatrist as well, that may need to actually speak to you. And some of the anxieties are actually to an extreme whereby you might need actually to consult and be given treatment that you need to follow, or a routine or program that you need to follow that will actually deal with your anxiety. But I must emphasize that men get anxious as well. And as a young man, when you feel anxious, please don't feel like it is abnormal that you are anxious. Don't feel like you are a lesser of a man when you are anxious. Everyone goes through anxiety in life, but what we need is just to need help. Just to ask for help and make sure that people help us in the situations that we are facing. I want to end up here today. Your host, Maikona Spokane. Thank you very much for listening to us and be part of this great topic. We'll deal with part 3 tomorrow. And thank you for joining us for part 2 today. And I believe you will continue listening to us and be part of this great topic. So remember, as we have our socials as well, our YouTube channel under Maikona Spokane. So subscribe to that. And also our Facebook page, Maikona Spokane. And remember also, Young Men Empowerment Forum, we post in there. Like those pages. Make sure that when teachings come and you are part of those teachings, and they will help you as a young man, and you'll become a better young man. May the good Lord bless you. Allow me to check out and say cheers for now.